back from Georgetown County, South Carolina, up to at least the first half of Outer Banks, and then we're looking at a hurricane watch ongoing for Charleston County. As far as the storm itself, we can see it finally on radar as it's gotten much closer to the United States. The center is about 330 to 350 miles away from us right now. The outer bands have been pushing onshore now in the Outer Banks this morning. Cape Hatteras has been encountered with some heavy rain at times, but the strongest wind and the heaviest rain is still well offshore, close to the center of the storm. The storm is a Category 2 hurricane. Winds are down a little bit to 105, so it has been weakening this morning. Gusts are at 125 miles per hour. It's moving northwest at 10. Earlier this morning, it was moving northwest at 17, then we saw it drop down to 15, now 10. So it is starting to slow down as we expected, as it is starting to run into that high-pressure block to the north. So that is going to cause it to slow to a crawl, if not stall altogether. Between now and tomorrow morning, look how little distance it travels. It's barely going to be getting to the North Carolina coast by tomorrow morning, talking about the center of the storm. Then it moves inland somewhere near Wilmington or maybe near Myrtle Beach, weakens to a tropical storm Saturday morning, tropical depression by Sunday morning. Don't focus on the exact cone. Yes, Savannah is out of the cone, Beaufort is out of the cone now, but it's not like if you live right here, you're okay, but if you live here, you're in danger. A hurricane is a large storm, and even when it becomes a tropical storm and a tropical depression, it can still produce tropical storm force wind. It can still produce very, very heavy rain, and that covers a large area, and that is not just inside the cone. So we will still see some rain and some wind as we move into the weekend, even though we are not in the cone. So take a look at Hurricane Florence on satellite. One thing you'll notice here, I mentioned this before, you see these kind of ribbons here kind of wrapping into the core and out on some of the outer rain bands. That is dry air being entrained into the storm, and that's one of the reasons it's weakening. It also has offshore winds south of the center that's causing upwelling, and that cools the water. So that is another thing that is going to cause the storm to weaken a little bit more. So it is still a Category 2, but you notice that it's not nearly as well structured as before. We don't really have that really well-defined eye like we once did when it was a little bit stronger as a Category 4. Here's a look at one of our wind models as we move through the next couple of days. So let's fast forward here, and you can see how tropical storm force wind may be felt as far south as Charleston. Here we're looking at winds maybe in the 20 to 25 mile an hour range for gusts. The low country, you could see at least some brief gusts to tropical storm force during the day on Saturday, and then Sunday the rain comes in. So let's talk about that. This is the European computer model. This is the one that was showing that nightmare scenario where the storm would stall off the coast and then move into our area directly over the weekend. It has backed off from that scenario and takes it more into South Carolina. You can see where the heaviest rain is near Myrtle Beach, Pawleys Island, Garden City, and then that all makes its way in on Sunday, at least the rain. The heaviest rain looks to stay to the north, but we will have some rain coming in here during the day on Sunday. Our stronger winds will be Saturday, but again, we're talking about maybe 20 to 30 mile per hour winds in terms of the gusts for us. Rain totals will be very high around Wilmington, near that landfall area, 25 inches potentially. Charleston close to 10, and then you see how it quickly off as you get closer to our portion of the low country, and then certainly for the coastal empire as well. Savannah about 1.65 inches, but about 1 to 2 inches of rain across our area, maybe 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 around the low country, but the exact track will determine those amounts, and it's still a couple days away. So for now, we're looking at mainly coastal concerns, wave heights of around 5 feet, high risk of rip currents, and a high surf advisory for today. As far as the next couple of days here, it's going to be fairly
Okay, guys,
quiet.
I'm going to
Other
see
than
if I can
coast, we're
find
looking at
the
mainly dry weather,
live
little
webcam.
breezes
So
during
hang
clouds,
on
mixed with
for a
sunny clouds.
second.
Very hot though, very humid. You will feel that tropical feel to the air.
Let me
And
put
then
on
the
my
rain
computer
comes in on
glasses.
Sunday,
It's
you could see some rain
rough
in
getting
northern
old.
parts of the low country on Saturday. So just summing it all up, deadly surf and rip currents, beach erosion, tidal flooding, all impacts we expect for today. Weekend rain and wind impacts.
Arc's Coffee and Breakfast is keeping a very close eye on Hurricane Florence. This is big news.
That's right. Waffle House, you knew I was going to say
This
that,
is
is joining
funny.
the list
Hang
of
on.
agencies and businesses tracking the storm's every move. The breakfast chain is open 24 hours a day all year, and federal officials use them to determine the
it didn't
severity
save.
of a storm. The Federal Emergency
I'll be
Management
back on
Agency
with a
found
live
that Waffle House
cam.
Index to measure the effect of a natural disaster.
All right. I'll be back, guys. Thanks for watching.